This is a demonstration of club management within the MyUniform system at Stefans Soccer. When you first receive your invitation to the club management, you'll receive this invitation file in your email along with a link to create your MyUniform password. And then once you've done that, links to sign in directly to MyUniform. It will also contain your username and club information as well as some links to help documents to get you started. Once you've created your password or already have a password for your account, you can visit myuniform.stefansoccer.com, or there are also links on stefansoccer.com to the MyUniform system. Once in MyUniform, you click Sign In and enter your username and password. And you'll be redirected to your MyUniform dashboard. If you're new to MyUniform, you'll most likely only see a Manage Club icon. If you've already started to set up teams and players, or if you've had teams and players for different clubs that have already been associated to your account, you may see also team icons and player icons. At the bottom of your dashboard, you'll see a list of all your recent orders. This is a demo account, so it has several orders in it. If you click any of those order numbers, it'll take you to the history of that order. Across the top of your screen, you'll see drop downs for manage clubs. If you're a manager of multiple clubs, you'll see drop downs here, manage your various teams, and order uniforms. This allows you, once you're in a page, to switch directly to another page without having to return back to your dashboard. And then in the My Account, you have access to update your contact information and your password. To begin, you'll click on your club icon. Once you're in your Manage Club dashboard, you'll see the delivery address information for your club, your manager information, as well as any groups that have been set up for your club. When you first log in, you'll most likely just see a couple group headings with no teams in them at all. Each group heading, if you click on that, is a link to the catalog for that group, where it'll show you all of the items, the sizes that are available, whether or not it's scholarship. There will be a checkbox and a number if there are. That number indicates how many a scholarship player would get at no charge. A scholarship player is denoted on the roster as someone that's going to receive these set items at no charge. Base uniform indicates the required uniform package and the quantities required. No charge, very similar to scholarship, but no charge applies to the entire club. It's not indicated on the roster. Every player in the club would get these items at the designated quantities at no charge. And then no charge and scholarship are items that are going to be invoiced to the club at a later date. And if you need either of those things set up for your club and they are not, please contact your Stefans Soccer sales representative and we'll get that going for you. The main duty of a club admin within Stefans Soccer's MyUniform system is going to be to set up the roster information or the team information for your club. At a bare minimum, you would need to set up the various teams and team managers, and then those team managers would have access to go in and set up the roster information. Very commonly, we'll have club admins that just do both, and they'll set up the team information as well as the roster information. And we've added some new tools to help you do that very efficiently. So we'll go through those here shortly. Once you have those teams set up, as this sample here, you'll see the roster size as well as how many of those players have ordered. If you hit Manage, you can jump right into the roster and you can see exactly which players have ordered, links to that order if they have, as well as the current roster. If you need to add individual players to your roster, you can do that line by line, as well as through imports. If Team Manager Pickup is set up for your club, at the bottom of the roster you'll have a place to set up whether it's a store location or the team manager's home address where they can set up where those deliveries are going to be. You also have options for overview reports for the orders for each team, and those you can get in a PDF format or an Excel format. You can import new rosters or export rosters for next season. On the main dashboard, you also have access to generate those overview reports for the entire group. again in PDF or Excel formats. Add additional teams to the group. Adding teams, it will ask for the team name, the manager information, manager's name, phone number, and email, and then an option of whether or not you want to send that manager an email invitation. If you're setting up the rosters, you may want to leave this unchecked to begin with, and then go back and resend invitations through these links here so that the managers aren't trying to upload and update things at the same time you are. So if as a team admin you're going to manage the rosters to get them started, you can then oops, wrong button. In the initial setup, you can uncheck send invite email and then resend invites when you're ready to turn everything over to the individual team managers to handle the maintenance of the roster. So as far as the roster imports, you have two methods. You can import them in bulk by uploading a file of all of the teams and uploading a file of all of the players. There are samples of that layout for the individual team rosters and the teams themselves. Once you have your files set up, the team import will contain the team name, the manager's name, the manager's phone number, and the manager's email address. And the player file will contain the team name so that it knows which team to place the player into, the player's first and last name, the contact for that player, the email address, phone number, player number, and scholarship. The scholarship field is optional. That doesn't need to be put in if you're not using any scholarships. And then you also have the option to choose which catalog this is being brought into. So if you've clicked the wrong link, you still have the option to choose the correct catalog to import those teams into. Once you hit next step, you'll be taken to a mapping page to make sure that all of the fields correspond directly to the MyUniform system. If you use those sample files as your base, it'll automatically map them for you. If you're using your own spreadsheets, you'll see on the left side each column heading and then the first 5 cells within that column as a sample. And then on the right side, you'll see the possible fields to map those to within MyUniform. So again, the team name, the manager's name, manager's phone number, manager's email. And then if you scroll down, you'll have the same information for the actual player roster. Again, the column headings and the first 5 sample cells of that column. On the right side again, you'll see the option to ignore any fields that aren't needed. If, for instance, you're using a file of your own that has the player's address, you can ignore those and access the team name, first name, last name, contact, email, phone number, player number, and scholarship. And these were based off of the sample file, so they've already been pre-selected. If you hit save and finalize import, you'll be redirected back to your club dashboard. And now those teams have been entered into the import test demo. So we have Team 1, Team 2, and both of those with the 2 players from the player download. You can edit any player and add additional contacts once the rosters have been set up. So you can edit any of their information, change player numbers, add additional contacts for multiple parents if they both need access to the player's account to order. Additionally, from the right side here, you can, in addition to editing the player, you also have the option to change them to a different team within your group. So if they're moving from U12 black to U12 red, you can simply change them to that team and it'll move their order and everything with them. You can only change players within the same group. You can't move them from, say, a U13 to a U15, as those most likely have different products within their catalogs. They can only be moved within the same group. And you can resend that player an invitation. And then again, once you have everything set up, as the season progresses, you'll be able to monitor the status from the main club dashboard as to the order status for each team, and if you jump into the roster, for each player. You'll also have the option to do imports directly through each roster by clicking Import Excel Roster, and this is the same as the previous player file, with one exception during the import. Because you are importing directly into an individual team, the team name field is not required for this one. So that can just be set to ignore, and again, all of the rest of these were mapped automatically. And when doing the bulk team imports, either of these files are independent. So you can import just your teams and then come back and do the rosters later. And again, use this same file. So you can do the teams, complete that, come back, and just do the players. So you can do that in 2 phases if you need. If you don't have all the information all at one time, you can get just the teams set up. Or if you're only going to do the teams and let the team managers access that information to upload their own rosters, you can still do the teams in bulk. And that concludes all of the necessary requirements for a club admin. Thank you.